How do you start a novel? This is one of the most common questions that I'm asked as an author. How do you start a novel? Now, it's easy to say, look, sit down and start writing. But let's be honest, it's not easy. Even for me, just a few weeks ago, sat down to write my fifth novel. It was so hard. It was so hard. What you need is a spark. What you need is a prompt. When I wrote my first book, The Sisters, back in 2015, the idea came out of the blue after I watched an episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I realised that one of the characters was completely broke, like no money. But it made me think, what if I had a character who's been living this glamorous lifestyle and suddenly she loses it all? She has to return home to London, to her family, and suddenly it's a family reunion gone wrong. Can she keep her secrets? Can she survive? That was a spark that started The Sisters. And look, here it is. There's The Sisters. And then when it came to my first crime novel, The Jigsaw Man, which is this one, it started with an image. I saw a woman standing outside a police station and she was staring at the doors. And I just knew that something traumatic had happened to her and she had to go inside. But who was she? Was she a detective? Was she a victim? Was she a witness? That one image became the beginning of a whole series of books. Jigsaw Man, The Binding Room, The Kill List, and book 4, The Shadow Carver, which is out in February. So that's how my novel started. One from a reality TV show, one from a single striking image, plus I had an additional prompt, which I'll tell you about later. But basically, it was just a series of prompts, just an initial spark of an idea. So I'm going to give you a prompt to help you get going. You've got a character. They're in the back of an Uber. The driver drops them off, but at the wrong address. Your character steps out, looks around and realises this isn't where they're supposed to be. What happens next? So that's your writing prompt. You don't need to plan a whole book. Just write 100 words, maybe 200. You might even write 500. Maybe give your character a name. But see where it takes you, because sometimes that's all starting a novel really is. Giving yourself permission to follow the spark. And it does not need to be perfect. If you ever saw my first drafts, they are terrible. They're messy, but there's joy in the mess. If you found this useful, let me know in the comments what you came up with for the Uber prompt. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell. Please hit the bell so you don't miss the next video. Happy writing. Let me know how it goes.